Can Jaylen Brown and Jayson Tatum win an NBA championship? That's a big question going into this NBA season. And 2 years ago, they made it all the way to the NBA Finals. They were up 2-1 on the Warriors before ultimately losing 3 straight. And then last year, they made it to the conference finals but couldn't get past the Heat. So, what will this season bring? Can those two players complement each other and go win it all? That's a big question, and we're going to dive into some film and take a look. Jayson Tatum's become one of the elite scorers in the NBA just last year, averaging over 30 a game, and he's able to score at a high rate because he can score in a variety of ways. He can catch and shoot, he can work off the ball screen, he can post up, he can work in isolation, and he's just really good in all those different ways at scoring the ball. So we're going to dive into his film first, and we'll let the tape roll and talk about what we see. So here you're going to see a high ball screen from Al Horford, and he's just able to get past that hedge defender, Jimmy Butler. Easy dunk at the rim. Miami's playing kind of a zone there. Again, another high ball screen with Horford here. And again, he's just so big, he's athletic, he's long. He can get to the rim and finish with ease, finishing over smaller defenders. Again, another high ball screen where he splits it, able to take on contact and finish. Just so good getting to the rim, and a lot of this opens up because you got to respect the 3 ball. His ability to shoot the ball is so good. Again, another high ball screen, again, one after another here. This is against a good Miami Heat defense in the playoffs. And there you see the 3 where, let's roll that back. Right here, you're going to see Horford come up and set a screen, and he kind of flips it at the last minute here, last second. And so looks like this is Kevin Love. He's coming out here to hedge on this way, but then Horford flips it. And so Jimmy Butler gets nailed. Love's not in a position to really bother that shot. And Tatum's shooting ability, he's going to knock that down at a consistent rate. Again, here's another high ball screen. You just get a clean switch. So now you got a smaller player here, Gabe Vincent, and he's going to just shoot over the top, and that's not going to bother an elite shooter, elite scorer like Tatum. Want to turn your 3 biggest mistakes as a coach into more wins and more impact? All you got to do is join us for our workshop. Click the link here, and we'll also give you a preseason retreat guide that our own coach mentors use with their team that you can use with your team. So click the link and join us. Can't wait to see you inside. We'll just keep rolling the tape. Here's Tatum pushing in transition, gives it up, gets it back. Now he's going to work in isolation here. I mean, that's just really good, really efficient. So he's just going to face up. Good defense, active defense right here. Just a clean rip. One dribble gets to the rim. It's a one dribble rip from the NBA top of the key. Not easy. Younger players watching, that's how you become an efficient scorer, working in that few amount of dribbles. Get another example of him working here off a high ball screen, gets a switch, has Bam, a bigger player. And look, he's just able to get by and get into the body and get the ball at the rim off the glass. Now you're going to see a post-up. He's posting Jimmy Butler, one of the more respected defenders in the league. I mean, look at the skill set here. This looks easy, looks pretty simple, but there's not many players that can do this. Just going to take that little 2-dribble, fade away, pull up in the lane. Really good shot for Tatum. Again, the variety of ways that Tatum can score is really special. It's a unique skill set. Right here, he just takes on contact. That's probably an and one right there. Able to finish in the lane, getting by his defender off the dribble. Here he goes into the post again. He's got another good defender, and Caleb Martin. He just shoots over the top. Martin's not a small guy. Right here, you're just going to see him take that little shoulder chest bump, create a little separation. Here you see Jaylen Brown with the ball. He's going to call for a ball screen. Doesn't really have much. Gets a switch. And Tatum is really good at the catch and shoot. As are most elite NBA scorers and players, they're going to operate well off the catch and shoot. And this is where I think he's going to get even more looks. We'll talk about it later. He's going to get even more of these looks with Drew Holiday coming into the fold. A little bit better of a playmaker passer than what he's played with Marcus Smart. Again, Tatum's showing you a little bit of everything here in these clips. Nice little shot fake. You got to respect the threes. So Tobias Harris gets the hard close. Again, these are playoff games we're looking at. And then he's got that ability to hit the mid-range. Tatum can score at all three levels. He can get to the rim and finish. He can shoot the three. And they can get in and shoot the mid-range or little floaters and pull-ups in the lane or post-ups, the mid-post area. Again, another catch and shoot. Here, him showing the ability to catch and shoot, knock down the three. This is where you see Brown and Tatum working together here in some three-man action. They're going to throw it to Horford. Tatum's going to kind of set a little flare screen that turns into a backdoor cut. Really nice cut by Brown. There's a brief moment where both defenders, this is the value in setting these off-ball screens. It creates confusion with the defense. Using your two best scorers in this situation to create this opportunity. And so now you got that brief moment, confusion. Tatum's got the mismatch with John Collins. He just shoots over the top. Collins has to respect the drive. One more time here. Let's take a look. Tatum's going to be a little bit better off the bounce. Collins is gapping him, giving him space, letting him take it. He's going to shoot over the top of him. Just an elite scorer all the way around. Right here, I think you're going to see him roll into the post. Yeah, roll into the mid-post. He's got Duncan Robinson, somebody he's got more strength and size on. He just goes right at him. This versatility that Tatum has is just really tough to deal with. Again, you got Jimmy Butler guarding him. I mean, the skill set right here. Just a little over-the-shoulder spin move, turnaround, fade. This is not an easy shot. One more time. Butler's making him work, making that catch tough. Right here, the one dribble spins off of him, little fade. So when you study a guy like Jayson Tatum, you're studying a guy who averaged over 30 a game, almost 9 rebounds, almost 5 assists, shooting 85% from the line, shooting 35 plus from the three, and about 46 from the field. Those are big time numbers, and those are hard to deal with. And I think where they do complement each other, going back to Jaylen Brown and Jayson Tatum, is that Tatum is the more skilled player. He can shoot the three. He's going to shoot 2.5 more threes a game last year than Jaylen Brown did. And Jaylen is going to be a guy that we're going to watch in a second who gets a lot of stuff at the rim. And Jaylen Brown can shoot it as well. He's an elite scorer himself. But Tatum's ability to do it through the post-up, do it off the ball screen, you're going to see his high usage rates in the ball screen and on isolations and post-ups or face-up. And that's what makes him a special player. And yes, they can complement each other. We'll come back to that in a moment. Let's dive into Jaylen Brown's film. So as we take a look here at Jaylen Brown's film, we're going to look at what he does really well, some things he does in transition, how he attacks the basket so well, using his athleticism, how he can create some of his transition buckets and defense and on defense. We're also going to take a look at an Achilles heel for Jaylen Brown and something that's gotten a little more attention, which is his turnovers, that he will need to address, and hopefully he's improved his game this offseason. But again, we're talking about a guy that's scoring over 25 a game, an elite scorer. When you put him beside Jayson Tatum, this is a really tough 1-2 combo. So let's roll the film and take a look at what Jaylen Brown does well. So this is something Jaylen Brown does really well. He creates easy buckets in transition with being an active on-ball defender. Again, a nice closeout, gets his hands, uses his length here, and just an easy transition dunk. Again, Jaylen Brown's got the body to be able to take on these bigger wings like a Jimmy Butler. He can take a rebound and go just create offense in transition like this. You know, there's not a ton of guys that can go coast to coast, guard somebody like Jimmy Butler, and then just blow by, get to the rim. He's so good going to his right. We'll take a look at some of the challenges when he goes left. Again, another situation here. You got defensive rebound. He's going to push in transition, gets all the way to the rim. These easy points really take a load off having to do it all in the half court, especially when you go against a team like Miami who's throwing some zone defense at you in the playoffs and keeping you off balance. Again, another example here, Jaylen Brown creating turnovers, jumping passing lanes. Now, Jaylen Brown could be a lot better off-ball defender, be more engaged, but on-ball, he's a really good defender. Again, here we are in transition. Again, just catching it, one dribble from the wing on a kick ahead here, and just going to get to the rim with ease, dunking off two with two hands. Another transition push here off a turnover. Finishes really well going at the basket. Nice one more pass from Horford here in the corner. Again, this is something younger players need to learn from. When you give up the ball off penetration, to keep moving, relocate yourself, and exit out to the perimeter. So one more time here. Steph Curry does this really well. Jaylen Brown penetrates. He gets himself out to the three, catches shot ready to knock it down. And he's a good spot-up shooter. Only shot about 33% from the three, but in spot-up opportunities, he shoots it at a much higher clip. Again, here's Tatum working off a ball screen, draws two. That's just a simple one more. Nice pick and pop with Horford, just making the next pass over to Brown for that corner three. Again, we'll keep the film running here. Coming off that high ball screen, here's this Miami zone defense. Very tough finish right there by JB, attacking right into the body of Bam. Watch this. Nice little jab. He rips it, two dribbles. Takes on Bam, finishes contact. That's a tough finish right there, showing you his complete package, ability to shoot the three, get to the rim, and finish. A lot of these right now we're looking at is him finishing in the paint. Nice patience here on the jump stop. Got a little bit smaller defender, lands on two. Nice footwork, creates some space, easy off the glass finish. Again, showing you his ability to catch and shoot the three. Here he is, Jaylen Brown going against Jimmy Butler. And like he does, he likes to go right, but he spins it back left. Because of his athleticism, he's able to fade there and get that fadeaway little mid-range shot. He does have the ability to do this at times where he works off the bounce, getting into some mid-range pull-up. Here we are again. This is in the playoffs going against the Heat. This is end of shot clock, and Jaylen Brown going to his left. And sometimes he's not as adept going left as he is right. But right there, you just saw him able to get to the paint, create a shot, make something happen. When Jayson Tatum doesn't have to carry the load at all times, you see this like a guy like Damian Lillard at Portland last year, where he's having to carry so much of the load, But when you have that second scorer, like a Jaylen Brown, who can go get buckets, it takes some of the wear and tear off your top scorer in Tatum. All right, here we're going to take a look at some clips with him turning it over. And this was a bit of a problem the last two postseasons for him. Going left, just his handle's got to tighten up a little bit. He loses it, gets some high turnover games, has a fairly high turnover rate at times. Again, has a lot of strengths, does a lot of good things. But right here, you're just going to see some of the turnover issues. We'll just keep running these clips. Again, trying to go between the legs in a pretty tight space. Two years ago, you saw the Warriors really take advantage of this and make him go left. Again, you can see right there, he's going left with the turnover, loses the handle. So as we look at Jaylen Brown and Jayson Tatum's game, there is no doubt some crossover skill set. These are both wings. The biggest comparison or comp that you can think of in recent memory would be a Michael Jordan and a Scottie Pippen who won 6 championships. And yes, I know Jayson Tatum's not Michael Jordan and Jaylen Brown's not Scottie Pippen. But there are some things that both of those guys do really well that those two didn't do. But those are two big wings that won 6 championships, and these are two big wings who are trying to win. And they're both in their mid-20s. They're entering the prime of their career. They're shown the ability to be elite scorers. But the Boston Celtics of 23-24 will be a different look than 22-23. They've got a first-year head coach coming back for a second year. I think that matters. I think you're going to see improvements. And just last year under Joe Mazzulla, they were number 2 in offensive rating and number 2 in defensive rating. Their regular season, they were elite on both ends of the floor. They didn't see the results in the playoffs, which is when it matters most. And I think you'll see a head coach who's improved, who shows a growth mindset that he's improving himself. And I've listened to him in interviews talk about his areas that he wants to improve in. So I think you're going to see that. Let's look at the others. And sometimes you'll hear about the others. I hear Shaq and Charles Barkley talk about this. The stars are going to get this. The Jaylen Brown and Jayson Tatum are going to get theirs. And it's often going to come down to the other players. So exited was Malcolm Brogdon, Marcus Smart, Grant Williams, and Robert Williams. And entering the fold is Drew Holiday and Porzingis. Their roster is going to look a lot different. But with Holiday, I think you've got a guy who's a better passer than Smart. He's a better shooter, and he's a better defender. And that's an upgrade. And I think he's got championship pedigree, and that'll be exciting to see how they utilize him to create a little bit more easy looks for Tatum and Brown. I think they will benefit from Holiday being in the fold. And then you add in a Porzingis who maybe not is the defensive presence that Robert Williams was, but he is a better offensive player. He will spread the floor. He will give Brown and Tatum more space to operate in. And when you factor in all those reasons, that gives the Boston Celtics, in my opinion, a good chance to go make it back to the NBA championship and maybe ultimately win it all. So don't only look for them to improve in their game, but look for the others to contribute to them winning it all.